And welcome to Let's Fly VFR, everyone, and Monument Valley. Visit letsflyvfr.com if you need any help and or you need in your toys. Subscribe, like and share if you would like, if you love what you see. So back here we are in the Sikorsky S-76. Isn't that looking amazing? Had a couple of flights in the helicopter of recently, just trying out something a little bit different. And yes, we're in VR. Got the Oculus Rift S, and we're here at Goldings Monument Airport. So this is Monument Valley. This is a release from Orbx. Not a very expensive one. I picked this up for about $10 or so Aussie, and we're just going to have a fly around. Now I'd like you to leave comments below if you can spot what is wrong with the software at the moment. And this is not Orbx's issue. But that's a little bit of a tip. So we're just going to fly around here and we can head out, have a look at some of the local sites. I'd like you to note how smooth this is. This is how I'm seeing it currently, and I'm going to make a video very soon to show you what settings I've got, because I can't believe this. And even in a flight I did yesterday around Washington, in and around Seattle, in cloud and rain, I had it as smooth as this, and I am just stunned. And it's in 4K. So guys, I'm going to give you some tips in a video very soon as we fly out over the desert. And we're heading over to Monument Valley. Now this is the Monument Valley High School over here on the left as we head out. There's the, I believe it's the medical center over on the right there. There's some ovals and stuff as we fly out. So where is Monument Valley? If you don't know, and I wasn't exactly sure either being an Aussie, it's on the border between Utah and Arizona. Temperatures out here range from the sort of mid-40s C back to about 16 C or so is what I've seen in my little bit of research. And so it's a pretty hot, desolate sort of a place, as you'd expect. This has all previously been underwater. Go back just a few minutes or a few million years ago. So there's a lot to find here. A lot of archaeological finds, certainly dinosaurs and dinosaur footprints apparently have been found here, along with a lot of sea life, all stuck in the rocks now as we head out. Now there's a number of different areas that you can see here, or these monuments as the area is called. These are all sandstone. They're called butts apparently, but all primarily sandstone. And there's a few of them. They've got different particular names. There's the totem pole, which is a single, very thin one that sticks up. I'm not sure if we see that today. There's a triple one which is called the Three Sisters, and there's a few others around. So we're just going to enjoy the flight around here. It's only a short flight, guys, so have a look around. And I'm going to be doing a few more flights in the near future. I've got some more Orbx software. I've got to say I'm loving this, and I'm probably kicking myself that I haven't bought Orbx software in the past. Certainly the regions. Having now got Washington and having Florida, pretty impressed with what you get. Now, would I go out and buy the individual airports? To me, that doesn't make a huge amount of sense, although I know they do areas around the airports, which is probably fine. So, personal choice, guys. But I don't spend enough time at airports. But having the whole regions done, like Monument Valley, Florida, Washington, Oregon, and California. I think there's two parts of California, north and south, so that's obviously a very long state. This might be the Three Sisters here, I think, as we're coming up around the corner. Keeping it fairly low. There's a lot to discover here. I've done another flight here in the Barren, because I wanted to go a little bit further afield and headed out a bit further than I did in the helicopter, although the helicopter and the Barren 58 are about as fast as each other. About 140 knots is pretty good. But flying the helicopter has its challenges. Landing this thing is still a bit of a handful. So hang on to the end and see how well I do on the landing today. We're going to land out today, not going back to the airport. as we fly past some more of these big butts. You have a bit of fun with that, couldn't you? So let's head around and out. It's really smooth flying the Sikorsky. It's quite nimble. Turn fairly tight and head around. I don't know whether you'd be turning as tight as that in the real world. I guess we get away with a lot of things in the sim world that you may not do if you're in the real world helicopter. Some tight turns and come around. Just wanted to see whether the valleys, you know, how well the valleys were detailed. I was checking on the climb performance of the Sikorsky as well. It climbs pretty well. You just got to pull back on the stick a little bit. You'll lose speed, obviously, as you would with an aeroplane, but it gives you a lot more lift, and you can just climb nearly vertically. It's pretty good performance. It's a pretty vast area, isn't it? Now, this is all part of the Navajo area, or Navajo Nation. So the Navajo people obviously lived here. I'm sorry, my history of the United States isn't fantastic, but I've certainly heard of the Navajo people and a lot of the other Indian native tribes from the United States. The First Peoples, as they get called in Australia, along with our Aboriginals, who are noted as the First Peoples of Australia. Now, I was thinking underneath this rock there was going to be a hole or something, but it's just a little bit of clipping. I guess it fills in, as you see there, as we fly around. Now, I was thinking, is there any valleys or is there any waterways out further? And I was going to go out a little bit further and have a bit of a look, but I changed my mind, and I'm going to go back and land after we head around past here. And you'll see the differences in the next video that I'll probably put up with the Baron 58 and the scenery issue that you can see here. I'm sure most of you guys that have done anything with X-Plane have probably already worked out what the issue is. Heading around. This is done in real world weather, so it was obviously just a bit of light cloud and high altitude. But with the flight that I have done with Washington, it was rain, and I was picking my way up through the gaps in the clouds and stuff, flying fairly low level for the most of it. And that, I can't believe how smooth it is. So I'm really excited to share what I found with you. It's just setting skies. But it's just amazing. I can't believe that I can fly around in 4K DSR on my 1080p monitor and be getting absolutely smooth. And I haven't edited the edges. Normally when you're right on the borderline, you'll see black come in from the sides as my head turns from left to right, and I'm not getting any of that. So hopefully you'll find that video helpful, and maybe especially if you've got a mid-tier system like I have with the Ryzen 2600 and the RTX 2060 Super that I've got. I'm not running a 3090 and that I hear a lot of people spruiking about. I am jealous if you have one, but I won't be getting one, unfortunately. I'm considering a CPU upgrade for the moment, but we'll see how that pans out. It isn't a beautiful area. I think Orbix have done a great job with colouring this and making sure it looks just amazing. It's probably better designed for flying, you know, a little bit higher and flying past, and you would notice it. But if you're going to do an area like this, well, you're going to fly low level and have a look, aren't you? So other areas that are around here. So we've got the Mexican Hat. I think you've actually got to go across the Utah border to get that, so that's probably quite a ways away. Some of the major monuments that they talk about. There's Goldings Ridge Monument Valley. That's at the airport where we took off, and that's actually in Utah. And the school is still in Utah, but it looks like you can go across the border pretty quickly. It's just right there and end up flying around. We've got Sentinel Mesa, which is we would have flown past. Wildcat Trail. There's the View Hotel, which is in the Arizona side. There's lots of places out here. Stagecoach, which is a fair way away as well. Bingham's Tomb is another place. There's a lot of different places. Eagle Mesa, that's if you follow the highway 163, you can get out and have a look at that. So there's really a lot to go and see out there. And the video that I saw by one of the other YouTubers who does travel videos on there, just showed it as being amazing. Some great tours. You can do tours up to the top of some of these peaks, which can be overnighters and things like that. A lot of day tours, and you know, if you go and get the local, I'm sure it'll be the Navajo people as guides, they'll take you to all the really amazing places that you can see there. And I guess choosing the time as well might make a difference. I'm sure you can go there in the winter, it might be a little bit cooler if you don't like the heat. So we're going to head back and put this great little helicopter down, and let's see how well we can land this thing today. It certainly has been a bit of a challenge. I've crashed it a couple of times, got to tell you. Got the gear down now. We're going to put it down over here next to this this big sandstone butt that's over here. I don't seem to name all of them. There's some with names, some without. And if you go over to those valleys at the back there and across the back area there are some waterways and some deep valleys which are a bit of fun to fly down, I've got to tell you. Heading down there is good fun. You probably wouldn't do it in a real barren. You might overstress it, I think. So we're just pulling the speed back. This is where the art is in these helicopters, is getting yourself slowed down and getting into the hover. I'm trying to do this really gently. You can see, got the nose up, getting the brakes, the air braking happening, slowing down. It's hard to transition from that aeroplane mentality, that fixed wing, and then jump it into a helicopter to try and get this right. A lot of very fine balancing between the cyclic, which is your joystick, on your left, right, backwards and forwards, which can also controls your forward and your backward movement as we're getting this steady, and the collective and throttle, which would be in your left hand, which you pull up and down from the floor. And in this case you need to really rotate your axis on your throttle, so when it's all the way back towards you it's minimum, and as you push forward it becomes more power and then more collective as time goes on. And then you've got to watch the torque levels on your torque gauge within here. So in for a nice little touchdown. Well, not quite so tight as the touchdown anyway. But we're back, we're on the ground safe. Let's go for a bit of a walk around and we'll go and see what there is to see on foot around Monument Valley. And again, great work by Orbx. Looking forward to doing a lot more flights with the Orbx Aries in the United States. They are a real eye-opener, they really are. And I can't believe the performance you get as well, guys. If you haven't got any of the Orbx products and you're on a sort of a mid-tier system, I've even downloaded the HD versions, which are just crisp as you would want them to be. So as always, if you've enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, hit the like button if you think it was a good video, and check out letsflyvfr.com and have a look at what we have there that's growing at the moment. A lot more articles, help on there for you, and also if you want to do some shopping and buy some toys for your system, then you'll find quite a lot of it there. So until next time, I'll catch you back here at Let's Fly VFR. Bye bye.